Welcome back to IGCSE Science Academy, where science math simple and clear. Today we are diving into a high-yield topic for your FPSC, CSS and PMS exams, the theories of evolution. We have created 65 essential MCQs across 8 core topics to help you master this section of biology and general science. We won't just give you the answers, we will provide clear explanation for each one so you understand the logic behind the science. Don't skip video till end. How to use this MCQ set. Read instructions carefully before starting. First one is format. Each question has 4 options A, B, C, D. Choose the best answer. Answer key. Correct answer is highlighted in green on each question slide. Explanation. Every question includes a detailed explanation for conceptual clarity. Exam tip. FPSC allows 1-minute question practice under timed condition. The topics are Lamarckism, Darwinism, natural selection, neo-Darwinism, mutation theory, genetic drift and genetic flow, evidence of evolution, speciation, Hardy-Weinberg, and mixed. Let's get started with our first topic, Lamarckism. First question is who proposed the theory of inheritance of acquired characters? Option 1 Charles Darwin, option B Jean-Baptiste Lamarck, option C Hugo de Varies, and D is Auguste Weismann. And the correct option, which is highlighted in with green color, that is Jean-Baptiste Lamarck. Explanation is Lamarck proposed this theory in his book Philosophy Zoologique in 1909. Question 2 is Lamarck published his evolutionary theory in which book? Options are On the Origin of Species, B. The Mutation Theory, C. Philosophy Zoologique, and D. The Descent of Man. And the correct answer is Philosophy Zoologique. Philosophy Zoologique was published by Lamarck in 1809. Question 3. According to Lamarck, which of the following is correct? Mutation drive evolution, B. Only the fittest survive, C. Organs used frequently become stronger, and D. Gene flow causes speciation. And correct answer is organ used frequently becomes stronger. Explanation Lamarck's use and disuse principle states that organ used frequently develop more while unused organs degenerate. Question 4. Who disproved Lamarckism using the germplasm theory? T. H. Huxley, B. August Weismann, C. George Mendel, and D. Ernst Haeckel. Correct option is August Weismann. Explanation Weismann disproved Lamarckism by cutting tails of mice for 22 generations. Offspring were born with normal tails. Question 5. Which example is classically used to explain Lamarck's theory of use and disuse? Options are Option A. Antibiotic resistance in bacteria, B. Elongation of giraffe neck by stretching, C. Industrial melanism in peppered mud, and D. Formation of Darwin's finches. The correct answer is elongation of giraffe's neck by stretching. Explanation Lamarck explained the long neck of the giraffe is a result of generations of neck stretching to reach high leaves. Question 6 is Lamarck's theory was published in 1759, 1809, 1859 and 1901. Correct option is 1809. Explanation Lamarck published Philosophy Zoologique in 1809, 50 years before Darwin's book. These questions are from both Lamarckism and Darwinism. Question 7. Lamarckism was experimentally disproved when Weismann cut off tails of mice for how many generations? Option A 5, option B 10, option C 22 and option D 50. And the correct answer is option C 22. Explanation Weismann performed the experiment for 22 generations and found no change in tail length of offspring. Question 8. Darwin published On the Origin of Species in at option A 1809, option B 1830, option C 1859, and option D 1901. And the correct answer is option C 1859. Explanation: Darwin's landmark book was published on 24 November 1859. These questions are about Darwinism. Question 10. The phrase survival of the fittest was coined by option A. Charles Darwin, option B. Alfred Russel Wallace, option C. Herbert Spencer, option D. Thomas Malthus. And the correct option is option C. Herbert Spencer. Explanation: Herbert Spencer coined survival of the fittest after reading Darwin's work. Darwin later adopted the term. Question 11. Who co-discovered the theory of natural selection with Darwin? Option A. Thomas Huxley, option B. Alfred Russel Wallace, option C. August Weismann, and option D. Ernst Mayr. The correct option is option B. Alfred Russel Wallace. Explanation: Alfred Russel Wallace independently arrived at the same theory and co-presented with Darwin in 1858. Question 12. Darwin finches provide evidence for evolution on which islands? Option A. Hawaiian Islands, option B. Canary Islands, option C. Galapagos Island, and option D. Falkland Islands. And the correct option is option C. Galapagos Island. Explanation: Darwin observed 14 species of finches on the Galapagos Island, each adapted to a different ecological niche. Question 13. Which of the following is not a postulate of Darwin's theory of natural selection? Option A. Overproduction of offspring. Option B. Struggle for existence. Option C. Inheritance of acquired characters. Option D. Survival of the fittest. And the correct option is inheritance of acquired characters. Explanation: Inheritance of acquired characters is Lamarck's principle, not Darwin's. Darwin proposed variation plus natural selection. Question 14. In Darwin's theory, fitness refers to option A. Physical strength of an organism, option B. Ability to run fastest, option C. Ability to survive and reproduce, option D. Resistance to disease only. The correct option is option C. Ability to survive and reproduce. Explanation: In evolutionary terms, fitness means reproductive success, the ability to pass genes to the next generation. Question 15. Darwin was influenced by the work of which economist regarding population and resources? Option A. Adam Smith, option B. Thomas Malthus, option D. John Stuart Mill, D. David Ricardo. And the correct option is option B. Thomas Malthus. Explanation: Malthus' essay on population, organisms produce more offspring than resources can support, influenced Darwin's concept of struggle for existence. Question 16, and these questions are about Darwinism and natural selection. Question 16. Which type of selection is demonstrated by industrial melanism in the peppered moth? Option A. Stabilizing selection, option B. Disruptive selection, option C. Directional selection, and option D. Sexual selection. And the correct option is option C. Directional selection. Explanation: Industrial melanism is the classic example of directional selection. Dark moths were favored as population darkened tree bark. Question 17. Which type of natural selection favors immediate phenotypes? Option A. Directional, option B. Disruptive, option C. Stabilizing, and option D. Sexual. The correct option is option C. Stabilizing. Explanation: Stabilizing selection eliminates extreme phenotypes. Example: human birth weight very high or very low birth weights have higher mortality. These questions are about natural selection. Question 18. Disruptive selection leads to option A. One extreme phenotype dominating, option B. Intermediate phenotype being favored, option C. Two extreme phenotypes favored, polymorphism, option D. Random changes in allele frequency. So the correct option is option C. Disruptive selection leads to two extreme phenotypes favored polymorphism. Explanation: disruptive selection favors both extremes over intermediates, potentially leading to polymorphism or speciation. Question 19. Industrial melanism is Biston betullaria peppered moth is an example of option A stabilizing selection, option B directional selection, option C disruptive selection, and option D genetic drift. And the correct option is directional selection. Explanation: dark moths were directionally selected as industrial pollution blackened tree bark, making light moths more visible to predators. These MCQs are about natural selection and neo-Darwinism. Question 20. An adaptation is best defined as option A. Any physical characteristic, option B. A heritable trait that increases an organism's fitness, option C. A change due to use and disuse, option D. A random mutation in DNA. So the correct option is a heritable option B, a heritable trait that increases an organism's fitness. Explanation: an adaptation is a heritable trait that has been favored by natural selection because it increases the organism's fitness. Question 21. Neo-Darwinisms combine Darwin's natural selection with option A. Lamarck's use and disuse, option B. Mendelian genetics and population genetics, option C. D. Varies mutation theory only, and option D. Haeckel biogenetic law. So correct option is Mendelian genetics and population genetics. Explanation: Neo-Darwinism, modern evolutionary synthesis, unites Darwin's natural selection with Mendelian genetics, population genetics, and paleontology. These MCQs are about Neo-Darwinism. Question 22. Which scientist wrote Genetics and the Origin of Species 1937, a cornerstone of Neo-Darwinism? Option A. Ernst Mayr, option B. J.J. Simpson, option C. Theodosius Dobzhansky, option D. R. A. Fisher. And the correct option is option C. Theodosius Dobzhansky. Explanation: Dobzhansky's 1937 book bridged the gap between genetics and evolutionary biology, forming the foundation of Neo-Darwinism. Question 23. Which of the following is not a mechanism of evolution in Neo-Darwinism? Option A. Natural selection, option B. Mutation, option C. Inheritance of acquired characters, option D. Genetic drift. And the correct answer is inheritance of acquired characters. Explanation: inheritance of acquired characters is Lamarck's discredited idea. Neo-Darwinism includes mutation, natural selection, gene flow, and genetic drift. These MCQs are about Neo-Darwinism and mutation theory. Question 24. Ernst Mayr is known for developing the option A. Mutation theory, option B. Biological species concept, option C. Hardy-Weinberg principle, option D. Germplasm theory. And the correct option is option B. Biological species concept. Explanation: Ernst Mayr defines species as group of interbreeding natural population that are reproductively isolated from other groups. Question 25. Hugo de Varies proposed the mutation theory based on experiments with option A. Drosophila melanogaster, option B. Pisum sativum, option C. Oinothera lamarckiana, option D. Neurosopora crassa. And the correct option is option C. Oinothera lamarckiana. Explanation: D. Varies observe sudden large heritable changes in the evening primrose Oinothera lamarckiana and call them mutations. These MCQs are about mutation theory. Question 26. Hugo de Varies published the mutation theory in 1859, B. 1880, C. 1901, D. 1930, and the correct option is 1901. Explanation: D. Varies published the mutation theory in 1901 to 1903 based on his observation of sudden heritable variations. Question 27. A point mutation involves a change in chromosome number, B. Deletion of entire chromosome, C. Change in a single DNA base pair, D. Crossing over during meiosis. And the correct option is option C. Change in a single DNA base pair. Explanation: a point mutation gene mutation is a change in a single nucleotide base pair in DNA sequence. Question 28. Polyploidy is an example of which type of mutation? A. Gene mutation, B. Chromosomal mutation, C. Genomic mutation, and D. Point mutation. The correct option is genomic mutation. Explanation: polyploidy, having more than two sets of chromosomes, is a genomic mutation, a change in the total number of chromosomes. 29. Most mutations are: option A beneficial and dominant, option B neutral and codominant, option C recessive and harmful, option D dominant and lethal. And the correct option is option C recessive and harmful. Explanation: the vast majority of mutations are recessive and harmful, though neutral mutations are also common. Beneficial mutations are rare. Question 30. Which of the following increases the rate of mutation? Option A low temperature, option B darkness, option C ultraviolet radiations and X-rays, option D nitrogen gas. The correct option is ultraviolet radiations and X-rays. Explanation: mutagens such as ultraviolet radiation, X-rays, gamma rays, and certain chemicals significantly increases the mutation rate. Question 31. According to D. Varies, evolution proceed by A. Gradual slow changes, B. Sudden large mutation saltations, C. Inheritance of acquired characters, D. Sexual selection alone. So the correct option is sudden large mutation saltation. Explanation: D. Varies believed evolution occurs through sudden large heritable changes, mutation or saltation, not gradual steps as Darwin proposed. These MCQs are about genetic drift and gene flow. Question 32. Genetic drift is most significant in: option A large diverse population, option B small isolated populations, option C populations with high gene flow, option D tropical populations only. And the correct option is option B small isolated populations. Explanation: genetic drift, random change in allele frequencies, has the greatest effect in small populations where chance event can dramatically alter allele frequencies. Question 33. The founder effect occurs when: option A a large population is suddenly reduced, option B mutations occur at high rate, option C a small group establishes a new colony away from main population, and option D two populations merge together. The correct option is option C a small group establishes a new colony away from main populations. Explanation: the founder effects occur when a small group of individuals establishes a new population carrying only a fraction of the original gene pool. Question 34. The bottleneck effect is caused by A. Migration of individuals, B. Drastic reduction in population size due to catastrophe, and C. Overproduction of offspring, D. Increased mutations rate. And the correct option is option B. Drastic reduction in population size due to catastrophe. Explanation: a bottleneck is a sharp reduction population size caused by environment events, for example disease, natural disasters, reducing genetic diversity. Question 35. Which of the following is a classic example of the bottleneck effect? Option A Darwin's finches, option B cheetahs, very low genetic diversity, option C human ABO blood groups, option D antibiotic resistant bacteria. And the correct option is Option B, cheetahs very low genetic diversity. Explanation: cheetahs are genetically very similar to each other due to several population bottleneck in their past reducing their genetic diversity. Question 36. Gene flow between populations tend to: Option A, increase genetic differences between populations. Option B, decrease genetic differences between populations. Option C, cause speciation. Option D, eliminates all mutation. And the correct option is option B, decrease genetic differences between populations. Explanation: gene flow, migration transfer alleles between population, making them more genetically similar and reducing differentiation. Question 33, 37. High rate of rare genetic diseases in the Amish community is an example of: Option A, bottleneck effect. Option B, natural selection. Option C, founder effect. And option D, gene flow. The correct option is option C, founder effect. Explanation: the Amish community descended from a small group of founders, creating the founder effect, high frequency of certain rare alleles. These MCQs are about evidence of evolution. Question 38. Archaeopteryx is a transitional fossil between: Option A, fish and amphibians. Option B, reptiles and birds. Option C, amphibians and reptiles. Option D, mammals and birds. And the correct option is option B, reptiles and birds. Explanation: Archaeopteryx had features of both reptiles: teeth, clawed wings, long tail, and bird's feather wishbone, making it a key transitional fossil. Question 39. Tiktaalik is a transitional fossil between: Option A, fish and amphibians, tetrapods. Option B, reptiles and birds. Option C, amphibians and reptiles. Option D, invertebrates and vertebrates. The correct option is option A, fish and amphibians, tetrapods. Explanation: Tiktaalik, discovered 2004, had fish-like scales but also limb-like fin and neck, a transitional form between fish and land vertebrates. Question 14. Homologous organs provide evidence for: A, convergent evolution. B, divergent evolution from a common ancestor. C, Lamarckism. D, genetic drift. And the correct option is option B, divergent evolution from a common ancestor. Explanation: homologous organs, same structure, different functions. For example, human arm, whale flipper, bat wing, indicate common ancestry and divergent evolution. Question 41. Wings of birds and wings of insects are: Option A, homologous organs. Option B, vestigial organs. Option C, analogous organs. Option D, transitional organs. Explanation: analogous organs have different structures but perform the same function, resulting from convergent evolution, not common ancestry. Question 42. The human appendix and coccyx are examples of: Option A, analogous organ. Option B, homologous organs. Option C, vestigial organs. And option D, adaptive organs. The correct option is option C, vestigial organs. Explanation: vestigial organs are reduced or non-functional structures that were functional in ancestors. The appendix and coccyx are classic human examples. Question 43. Which law states ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny? Option A, Hardy-Weinberg law. Option B, Mendel's law. Option C, biogenetic law, Ernst-Haeckel. Option D, Weismann law. And the correct option is biogenetic law, Ernst-Haeckel. Explanation: Ernst-Haeckel's biogenetic law recapitulation theory proposed that an organism's embryonic development repeats its evolutionary history. Question 44. Humans share approximately what percentage of DNA with chimpanzees? Option A, 75%. Option B, 85%. Option C, 95%. 95%, option D 98.8%, and the correct option is 98.8%. Explanation: biochemical evidence show humans and chimpanzees share 98.8% of their DNA sequence, reflecting their close evolutionary relationship. Question 45. Adaptive radiation is best exemplified by a mule, offspring of horse and donkey, B. Darwin's 14 finch species on Galapagos Island, C. Industrial melanism in peppered mouth, D. Antibiotic resistance in bacteria. And the correct option is Darwin's 14 finch species on Galapagos Island. Explanation: Darwin's finches 14 species evolved from one common ancestor, each adapted to different ecological niche in the classic example of adaptive radiation. Question 46. Biogeography supports evolution because option A. Species are randomly distributed worldwide. Option B. Island species often resemble nearest mainland species. Option C. All islands have identical species. Option D. Fossils are only found in cold climates. And the correct option is option B. Island species often resemble nearest main mainland species. Explanation: island species resemble the nearest mainland species, suggesting that descended from organisms that colonized the islands from the mainland. Question 47. Which protein is used as biochemical evidence of evolution due to its similarity across species? Options are option A hemoglobin only, option B cytochrome C, option C insulin, option D collagen, and the correct option is cytochrome C. Explanation: cytochrome C, an electron transport protein, has almost identical amino acid sequences across mammals, indicating common ancestry. These MCQs are about speciation. The most common type of speciation is A. Sympatric speciation, B. Parapatric speciation, C. Allopatric speciation, D. Peripatric speciation. And the correct option is allopatric speciation. Explanation: allopatric speciation, in which a geographic barrier separates population, leading to independent evolution and reproductive isolation, is the most common. Question 49. Sympatric speciation occurs A. due to geographic barriers, B. in same geographic areas without physical barriers, C. only in aquatic organisms, D. through hybridization with no reproductive isolation. And the correct option is option B. in same geographic areas without physical barriers. Explanation: sympatric speciation occurs when new species arise with the same geographic range, often through polyploidy in plants. Question 50. A mule from horse and donkey is an example of A. hybrid inviolability, B. hybrid sterility, C. mechanical isolation, D. temporal isolation. And the correct option is B. hybrid sterility. Explanation: a mule is a valuable sterile hybrid, a post-zygotic isolating mechanism called hybrid sterility. Question 51. Pre-zygotic isolating mechanisms include all except option A. habitat isolation, option B. temporal isolation, option C. hybrid sterility, option D. behavioral isolation. And the correct option is option C. hybrid sterility. Explanation: hybrid sterility is a post-zygotic mechanism after fertilization. Pre-zygotic mechanism prevent fertilization from occurring. Question 52. Reproductive isolation is essential for option A. gene flow between species, option B. speciation, formation of new species, C. increased genetic diversity within a species, D. Lamarckian evolution. And the correct option is B. speciation, formation of new species. Explanation: reproductive isolation prevents gene flow between divergent populations, allowing them to evolve independently into new species. Question 53. Convergent evolution produce option A homologous organs, option B vestigial organs, option C analogous organs, and option D traditional fossils. And the correct option is option C analogous organs. Explanation: convergent evolution is when unrelated species independently evolve similar traits, analogous organs due to similar environmental pressure. These MCQs are about Hardy-Weinberg. Question 54. The Hardy-Weinberg equation is option A P plus Q is equal to 1, option B P square plus 2PQ plus Q square is equal to 1, option C P square plus Q square is equal to 1, option D 2P plus 2Q is equal to 1, and the correct option is option B P square plus 2PQ plus Q square is equal to 1. Explanation: the Hardy-Weinberg equation P square plus 2PQ plus Q square is equal to 1 describes genotype frequency P square, which refers to AA, capital AA, 2PQ, which refers to capital A, small a, and Q square refers to 2 small a. Question 55. In Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, Q square represents option A homozygous dominant frequency, option B heterozygous frequency, option C homozygous recessive frequency, option D allele frequency of dominant allele. And the correct option is option C homozygous recessive frequency. Explanation: in P square plus 2PQ plus Q square is equal to 1 ratio P square is equal to 2 capital says, which is homozygous dominant, 2PQ is equal to A heterozygous, and Q square is equal to 2 small a homozygous recessive. Question 56. Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium is maintained when option A mutation occurs frequently, option B natural selection acts strongly, option C random mating occurs in a large population with no evolutionary forces, option D gene flow is high between isolated populations. And the correct option is option C random mating occurs in a large population with no evolutionary forces. Explanation: HW equilibrium Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium requires no mutation, no selection, random mating, panacea, no gene flow, and large population size. Question 57. If the frequency of recessive allele Q is equal to 0.3, what is P? Option A 0.3, option B 0.6, option C 0.7, and option D 0.09. And the correct option is option C 0.7. Explanation: since P is equal to P plus Q is equal to 1, if Q is 0.3, then P is equal to 1, 0.3 is equal to 0.7. Question 58. Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium is significant because deviation indicates option A the population is in equilibrium, option B evolution is occurring in the population, option C no mutation are happening, option D random mating is occurring. The correct option is option B evolution is occurring in the population. Explanation: the HW principle provides a null model. Any deviation from expected frequencies indicates that one or more evolutionary forces are acting. Question 59. The Hardy-Weinberg principle was proposed in 1859, B 1901, C 1908, D 1937. So the correct option is option C 1901. Explanation: G. H. Hardy and Wilhelm Weinberg independently proposed the principles in 1908. So these are the mixed questions. Question 60. Which evolutionary mechanism involves non-random mating based on phenotype? Option A genetic drift, option B genetic flow, option C sexual selection, and option D mutation. And the correct option is option C sexual selection. Explanation: sexual selection is a special form of natural selection where traits evolve because they increase mating success. For example, peacock feathers. Question 61. Antibiotics resistance in bacteria is evidence of Option A, Lamarckism. Option B, evolution by natural selection observable. Option C, genetic drift only. Option D, stabilizing selection. And the correct option is option B, evolution by natural selection observable. Explanation: antibiotic resistance demonstrate directional natural selection in real time. Bacteria with resistance mutation survive and reproduce. Question 62. The biological species concept defines a species as option A, group of morphologically similar organisms. Option B, group of interbreeding populations productively isolated from others. Option C, organisms sharing the same habitat. Option D, organisms with identical DNA sequences. And the correct option is option B, group of interbreeding populations reproductively isolated from others. Explanation: Ernst Mayr biological species concept. A species is a group of actually or potentially interbreeding natural populations that are reproductively isolated from other groups. Question 63. Which of the following correctly order the major evolutionary theories chronologically? Option A, Darwin, Lamarckism, Neo-Darwinism, mutation theory. B, Lamarckism, Darwinism, mutation theory, Neo-Darwinism. C, mutation theory, Darwinism, Lamarckism, Neo-Darwinism. D, Neo-Darwinism, Lamarckism, Darwinism, and mutation theory. The correct option is option B, Lamarckism, Darwinism, mutation theory, and Neo-Darwinism. Explanation: Lamarck 1809, Darwin 1859, De Vries mutation theory 1901, Neo-Darwinism modern synthesis 1930 to 1950. Question 64. Von Baer's law related to evidence from option A, fossil record. Option B, embryology. Option C, biochemistry. Option D, biogeography. And the correct option is option B, embryology. Explanation: Von Baer's law states that embryo of different vertebrates look very similar in early stages. Embryological evidence for evolution. Question 65. Which type of evolution produced the streamlined body shape in dolphins, mammals, and sharks fishes? Options are option A, divergent evolution, B, parallel evolution, C, convergent evolution, and C, co-evolution. The correct option is option C, convergent evolution. Explanation: dolphins and sharks are unrelated but both evolved streamlined bodies due to the similar aquatic environments. This is the convergent evolution producing analogous structures. So in this video we have covered 65 MCQs from the theories of evolution and which covered 8 main core topics. In the next video we will start the next biology topic for the FPSC and for the TGT level test with complete explanation plus MCQs for better understanding and practices. We have reached the end of today's session. Keep revising, keep practicing, and keep aiming high. More IGCSE science explanation, concepts, clarity, and exam-focused MCQs are coming soon. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for the next lesson.